LoneStar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Well, welcome everybody. You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour as our introduction cued you off, and I'm so happy to have you here. We're broadcasting today live from the studios of Lone Star Community Radio. They're the community radio station for Montgomery County, Texas, and we are here as one of the many, many talk shows they have. And if you haven't already done it, please check out Lone Star Community Radio. It's real simple. Go to the internet and put in irlonestar.com. irlonestar.com. Website comes up, and it'll tell you on the homepage exactly what Lone Star has to offer. Wonderful place to be, wonderful place to learn. And as I've said every week for, the last 2-3 years, Conroe is one of the fastest growing cities in America. And that was just reaffirmed again. One of the fastest growing places in America. Conroe is the county seat of Montgomery County. That's where the studios are located, right here on the first floor of the Conroe City Hall. So if you want to find out anything about Montgomery County, Conroe, this is the place to be. Reminder that the show is broadcast live on Facebook Live. You can go to YouTube as well. Just look up the Weekly Business Hour page and click on the button, and you can watch as well as listen to the program. Also want to remind you that if you have a question, a comment, something about the show that you think we could improve, or you have a business question about your own business, you've got a certain challenge, you'd like a point of view, another comment, then just drop me an email. It's real simple. It's the number one, bestconsult@gmail.com. That's bestconsult@gmail.com. My name is Rick Schissler. I'm the host. I'm a Silver Fox advisor, and I'm the founder of onebestconsult.com. So let us have your questions. We do a mailbag segment from time to time. Your question about your business might even be talked about on the air, and I'll give you my answer, my perspective at that time. So please, love those emails, love the comments. Please, please keep them coming. Well, in the studio today, we have Whitney Christina. She's a certified master hypnotist. Which is interesting in and of itself, but she's also a businesswoman. She's got a business to run, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to get some of the inside scoop, as I like to think of it, on how hypnosis can help you overcome bad habits, relieve stress, and help you conquer your fears, and how this is directly tied into your business. We'll zero right into business. Well, Whitney, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm kind of excited. I have had someone on in your profession before, Bill Torgan. Mm-hmm. You may know Bill. Mm-hmm. He also, I guess, generally does what you do.
Yes.
And has had some success in his business here in the community. I'm aware of that. Uh-huh. What caused you to choose hypnosis as a profession?
I have been working with people that have been wanting to make changes in their life for a while, and I found that hypnosis was a way that, by accessing their subconscious mind, helps them change the way that they believe things or that they've learned to be. And it's a really quick, easy, comfortable change for them. And I just am really passionate about it. Just the excitement of helping people create the changes that they want in an easy and a fast manner is just really gratifying.
So you basically chose the profession because you really were seeking self-gratification?
Gratification for my clients too, yeah. So for me, it's you want to be in a career, or you want to have a business that is meaningful for you, and helping people is definitely meaningful for me, and so it is good for me and great for my clients. It's
really interesting. As I go and I looked in your business, you were kind enough to give me some marketing materials, and it's really interesting to me. How do you market your business? So how do you find people that need these services?
Thank goodness for the web. Thank goodness for Google. It's more about word of mouth, though. If you have a good experience with me, for instance, if you wanted to quit smoking and you were able to do it in like 2 sessions, that would be life-changing for you, and you would tell some friends and they would tell some friends. So a lot of it is word of mouth. And then a lot of people find me via Google, and my website is helpful. I also do some classes at the rec center at the Woodlands, as far as like do a motivation, hypnosis, or confidence, deep relaxation, or stress relief. So that also helps get my name around, is just by participating and working with the community and the chambers.
So visibility out there and whatnot. Talk for a moment about Google. I am always, like so many people, just sort of intrigued by Google. And I talk to businesses. I was talking to someone the other day that was in the house and commercial cleaning business. And the Google was, I couldn't believe how many leads it produced for her in her small local business. It's phenomenal.
It really is. There's all these other social medias that are really beneficial and really helpful, but if someone is looking for a hypnotist, they are looking for somebody near me. So they Google hypnotist near me, and that's how I come up. That's the mentality of today, is, finding things right away, you Google it. So that's how people find me a lot.
And finding products and services near me. I like that,
Yes.
the way you said that. Yeah, that's right on. I mean, and I think that's important for our business owners, managers, listeners, is Google. Everybody, to me, used to be the website 10 years ago. Everybody needed a website. Small businesses were very slow to make that change and realize they needed something. It doesn't have to razzle dazzle. They don't have to sell on it directly online, but they have to have it. And very slow to make that change. And now I think that the Google fits in the same category. It's a must-have.
Yep.
For small businesses, any business really, but particularly our small business owners need to hear that. How difficult is it for someone? I mean, you're an individual solo practitioner, so you don't have a staff of people. How easy is it for someone to get on Google at the level that you participate and get leads from?
So it's really easy, because all they do, you used to have a yellow pages, right? And you used to look up whatever your subject was back in the day. Now they Google and they say hypnotist near me, and that's what they look at. And they look at your ratings on Google, and they look at how close you are to them. But yeah, Google is the way to go. You can't live without Google right now.
And it sounds
as
like
a
it
small
really isn't
business.
that hard for someone.
No.
So if someone's listening today and they've got a business, whether it be on Main Street or manufacturing business or a service business, they or someone in their employment or whatever can get them on Google.
Yes.
And at least take advantage of the opportunity, I guess, sort of a free marketing advertising idea to bring at least that customer base that if they're not getting it, I guarantee you
Somebody
their
is.
competition is.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of switch gears now. Let's talk about hypnotism a little bit. Obviously, lots of myths. I assume some concerns people have. But before we do that, let's talk about what you can help someone with. What is this? You mentioned fears, motivation, whatnot. Kind of break that down for us a little bit.
Sure. Thanks for asking. That's a great question. So people have a lot of stress right now. So trying to figure out a way to reduce stress. If they are like a fear of flying, or some people have fear of needles, or maybe a fear of a dentist. So that's a place that I can go in there and really help them overcome that fear, so that their experience within the dental practice is comfortable and calm and nice experience, like most dentists make it usually. So
that's, let's be specific. Let's back up and talk about what you're right on. A lot of stress.
Yes.
Well, there's always stress, but it seems like turn on the TV, there's stress. I mean,
Right.
it's all around us.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, it's made to be stressful. So I'm stressed out. I'm just generally stressed out at work, at home, with the world. I listen to the radio, I watch TV, I get more stressed. kind of walk us through a simple way of, okay, I come to you and I say, can you help me with de-stressing at least a little bit or some?
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. So what we do is we come in and we have you do some deep relaxation, and we talk a little bit beforehand and about some of the factors that are stressing you and some of the ways that you would like to change. Like, what would your life look like if you weren't as stressed? Maybe you can't sleep. Maybe you have like anxiety, social, like around people and that kind of thing. So we find out what it is specifically, then we go in and we do some deep relaxation, and then we give you some suggestions about how to be less stressed. I also give, sometimes for people that have stress, I give them a little cue that if they're feeling like nervous or something like that, I give them a little finger thing that they can do to take them in that moment, to remind them of the deep relaxation they had in hypnosis and de-stress a little bit.
Just so I'm clear now, that you mentioned relaxation or deep relaxation, that's part of the hypnosis?
Yes, that's part of the hypnosis process. You want to get really relaxed and really comfortable, so you know that you're in a safe place, and you just want to open up your subconscious mind and your conscious mind to the suggestion of not being as anxious or not being as stressed out, that kind of thing. Or if, for instance, sleeping is an issue, then we'll talk about that and give you some suggestions about how to sleep easier and deeper and more restful.
And all of this is done while I'm under hypnosis?
Yes.
So the idea is subconsciously, right? I retain that thought, if you will, or that approach to sleeping, which is a wonderful example, because I know a lot of folks that have trouble sleeping, and I'm sure it's caused by different factors, but stress would definitely be one.
Yes. And the thing I wanted to mention too is that hypnosis is completely safe. So a lot of people have a question about, is hypnosis safe? And we're talking about the subconscious mind. Your mind has safety mechanisms in the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious mind. So a hypnotist can't make you do something that you would not want to do. And if you were uncomfortable with the suggestion, then you would just simply come out of hypnosis. It's not something that we could have you cluck like a chicken if you didn't want to. So knowing that's the case, and we go into an in-depth explanation prior to going into hypnosis and answer any questions that the client may have, so that they feel 100% comfortable and safe going into hypnosis, and knowing that it's something that they're coming in that they want to change, that they want to do. So we work really a lot with that to make sure that the client is comfortable and gets what they're looking for.
That's interesting. Why don't we take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about hypnosis with Whitney, and talk about some of the areas as a business owner where you may find value. I mean, stress is an obvious one, but I think there's some other things that can happen or available to you as a business owner. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour. I'm Rick Schissler. I'm your host for the program. And we've been having a very, very interesting discussion this morning with Whitney Christina. She's a certified master hypnotist, and talking about how hypnosis can help us get through, in this particularly stress. But I want to zero in, as we discussed, Whitney, and talk about, okay, I'm a business owner, a business manager, and there are certain things that are going to really impede my ability to do my best in my work. Let's talk about some of those and what hypnosis might be able to do to help me overcome those and become a better manager, or a better owner, I guess could be said as well.
Great. So there's a couple of things. As a business owner, you want to be confident when you're going out and you're talking about your product and your service and your business. And some people may not be as comfortable talking to people in general. So hypnosis can help boost your confidence. It can help boost your communication so that you're not going here and there trying to figure out the right words to say, that they just come to you naturally and easily. And it helps you know what you know and be able to project that to your customers. The other thing that business owners can do is like motivation, right? You want to go out and see customers, but it's hard sometimes to go out. Just do the things that you need to do to be motivated every day. And also with team building, I've had some businesses approach me and say, my team is in a customer service industry, and we want to take care of our clients and stuff like that, but sometimes people stress my stuff out because we're in a service industry. So I'll go in with that business and do some stress reduction with their staff and some team building and some motivation so that everybody comes out happy and positive and happy to be at their job and happy to help their clients and move the business forward the way that the owner wants it to be moved forward. So that's a couple of things that we can do.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, that not only as an owner, you make a point, if I have employees, have staff, employees, just depending on how large I may be. But back on the owner, I mean, business owners, in my estimation, a lot of times are skeptical of new things. Now, some aren't, obviously, but there's a core group of ones, particularly older ones like myself. We've been there, done it. We've been in business for some time. We've seen good times and we've seen challenging times. So how do you convince me that hypnosis is going to help me be a better manager, so to speak?
So first, I would let you know that the U.S. government has a definition of hypnosis, and that is it's a bypass of the critical factor of the mind. That's the part of the mind that compares new information with old information already stored in the subconscious. And hypnosis allows us to bypass this comparing mechanism so that you can make powerful changes every day. So why did I tell you that? I told you that because I want you to know that the government actually has a description of hypnosis. So it's a thing, and it's been around since like the 50s. So for people that are a little more skeptical, it's helpful to know that the government has a definition for it, and it's been around for a while. The other thing is we can just test it out, right? Test it on something small. I mean, you go into hypnosis every day, right? If you are driving somewhere and you're like, how did I get there? That is the natural state of hypnosis. And if you do that and you're putting positive suggestions, this is going to be a great meeting, I'm going to do well, this guy's really going to like me. As you're driving there, you'll probably have a more positive outcome on your meeting. So people are doing it all the time. This is just a more directed, focused way. And we like to work with the client to say, okay, so if this were to be 100% the way you wanted it exactly, what would it look like? And then we give them their their best case scenario back under hypnosis so that they can imagine and see what that's going to be like. And then that just, like Mary Poppins gives you a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down, that's what we're doing. We're giving you a spoonful of sugar to make, the changes that you want in your life.
I never really thought of it that way, but I know I used to call it visualization.
Yes.
Because I would think, okay, I'm going to this situation a little out of my realm of feeling safe, comfort zone, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I visualize what I want. And I used to do that. I didn't read that in a book or I hadn't been through hypnosis, but if I could visualize it. And I definitely forget how I got to places. So now you've made me feel better because I'm going into hypnosis as I'm driving there. Happens more and more as you get older, though, so a lot of hypnosis going on. So as a business owner, kind of give the example or scenario. If I am overstressed, say, because of what the economy's doing, I'm concerned, a lot of unknown, more than normal in my opinion, particularly due to what's going on politically and all the noise that has really no value in my opinion, but that's my opinion. So I'm overstressed with that, and I see it impacting my business, my ability to lead and direct my business. So I come to you and talk to you and tell you I'm stressed out with my business. I'm not doing the job that I know I can do for my customers, my employees, and I need some help. So feedback, what do you do with me step by step at that point?
So in the situation that you described, I would do two things. I would do the regular hypnosis, and I would also, in my sessions with people, I teach them self-hypnosis. So what we can do is then you can take the self-hypnosis tool back home with you every day on a day-to-day basis and say, okay, this could have gone better. I'd like to change this. I'd like to change that. So I incorporate self-hypnosis in my sessions. But the first thing that we would do is we would find out what changes you want to make and what your life would look like if those changes were made. What are some of the things that are causing you the stress? Where is I'm going to say use pain point. It's not like real pain, but where is the strongest emotion that you have on that? Let's look at that and see what that really is. Then we'll go through and do some hypnosis based on, if it's stress or anxiety, maybe you have a fear of speaking to people. So we'll just go over whatever it is for you, and we'll take you through that. We'll give you back some suggestions about how you said you wanted your business to grow and be. And like for most people, when they're talking about their business, I just want to be happy doing what I'm doing. I just want to take care of my customers the best way that I can. And I just want to be able to do this. This business has been in my family, for this many years, and I want to carry on my legacy, whatever it is for them. It's all pretty individual. And we talk with them about that, and I do have a process that I go through. If there's something that is in the past that is maybe helping them or hurting them as far as like confidence or speaking or something like that, we'll go through that, address that, and kind of work with them to change their belief system around what is real for them now. Like when they were 5, that may have been fine, but now that you're 45, how does that work for you? So that's a lot of the process. And again, taking home the self-hypnosis is really just a way that you can change your life. I love to see you all the time, but in reality, if I'm doing my job correctly, I'm only going to see you a short amount of time, and you can then take the self-hypnosis and go forward. You can always come and see me, but if you could make the changes yourself, you would, and you'd be so much happier.
Now, so we're typically talking 1 or 2 sessions. That's my impression for the scenario that I gave you, as far as I'm stressed out because of what's environmentally going on around me, and I'm off my game, right, and running my business.
I have some things can be taken care of in 1 or 2 sessions. For instance, I've helped people with nail biting, hair pulling, stop smoking. That happens. But for a situation that you're talking about, a lot of people that come to me, it's a little more deep-seated than that. And so we, while they get improvement in the first and second session, we want to get all the way down to it and address it. So I see people about 5 to 6 sessions, and they've made the change that they want to and learned the self-hypnosis that they want to, so they can make the changes that they feel
They want going
yeah
forward.
yeah
Really interesting, really interesting. Now, how long have you been doing this? I don't know that I picked up on that.
No. So I've been working with people, like I mentioned, to facilitate changes in their life. I got my master certification in last February, so it's over
Almost a year.
Yeah, yeah. And I went to this particular one because I felt like this was the most effective, the most change, the most structured. There's a process that we go through so that, we get the results that we're looking for.
Now, what is your prior business or career prior to taking that on and following in that?
So I was previously in the medical field. I was a practice manager. So again, organization and structure and stuff like that for me logically makes a lot of sense for people. And with the access consciousness facilitation that I've been doing since like 2017, just helping people change their lives and the way that they're thinking about things and asking questions to make positive changes. So does that answer your question?
Absolutely. It's just intriguing to me. People take this on. There's still, I assume, a lot of reluctance out there by the public that you're trying to reach. And by the way, who is your ideal customer? I mean, I always ask people when they come on in their business, what is a profile for someone that would be looking or needing your services or both?
I want to address the reluctance a little bit first. There has been enough hypnosis around that people are a lot less reluctant. And so I will get calls from people that say, I need to come in and see you right away because I have this fear of speaking and I have to go talk to somebody do a presentation. So
how do you overcome the reluctance?
Oh, okay, great, thanks. So by the time people are looking for hypnosis, they have tried a number of different things that just haven't worked. So they've tried all kinds of different things, and they're just like, okay, maybe if you can hypnotize me, maybe you can just make it work. Now, hypnosis only works if the person wants to. So, for instance, if you wanted to quit smoking, I could help you quit smoking. But if your wife told you she wants you to quit smoking, but you really like smoking, then you wouldn't quit smoking.
So it's not going to work.
Right. So people that call about hypnosis are usually really motivated to make the changes that they want.
So what you're really saying is my pain point, I've reached it, I've tried other things. So your services are a little bit down the scale or up the scale, depending on how you want to look at it, that I've tried other things. And hopefully I come to you with an open mind because I want to make it right.
Yes, exactly.
Other approaches just didn't work.
Exactly.
So that's interesting. So you're really in that role of almost a fireman to really help me put out the fire that's causing me issues.
Yeah, more of a coach too.
Right.
So that I tried this and I tried this. Okay, what didn't work about that? What part of it worked? What part of it didn't work? So each person is an individual. So we figure out what's going to work for them and how it's going to work.
Right. It's not something you come in and you have a crystal ball and then I leave and I'm okay. You know?
You are your own crystal ball. Your subconscious mind is very powerful and very strong. And if you could sit down and have a conversation with yourself and just say, hey, what do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What would that look like? You can imagine it, then you can do it. And so you kind of put the crystal ball together. It's your imagination. It's what you want in your life.
Right.
So it's very individualized, and that's why it's so exciting, because who knows what's going to happen with the next person that comes in.
Well, what I really like is that we kind of come to an end of our conversation today is the fact you give me tools, or a tool like self-hypnosis. I walk away with a way to follow up on myself.
Yes.
So that if I really have been successful and made this happen, then why not? Because other issues will come up in my life,
Right.
particularly that opportunity to do something out of my comfort zone, right? If I'm successful in business, I need to be willing to go out of my comfort zone. So the idea that I face that opportunity from time to time, hopefully not every day, but I go out there and I can successfully overcome that. That's really neat. If someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do it?
You can go to my website, www.whitneychypnosis.com. You can go to the website, or you can call me 832-225-2001, and I'll be glad to talk with you anytime.
Well, Whitney, I can't thank you enough for coming in, not only on the education part of it of hypnosis, but talking about your business, what you're doing. We're excited that you're here in Montgomery County working with people here in Conroe and the Woodlands, I assume Montgomery as well.
Yeah.
You cover, do you do house calls?
I don't do house calls. I do Zoom calls, though.
Zoom calls.
Zoom
Well,
calls.
that's a house call
Yeah,
today, isn't it?
there it is.
That's really cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will stay with us. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. I want to remind you that a podcast, video cast of the program today will be available on Wednesday of this week. It'll be available all over social media, YouTube, of course, Facebook. Go to the Weekly Business Hour page, or come here to Lone Star Community Radio's website at irlonestar.com and click on the Weekly Business Hour under the show tab, and you can listen to the podcast of today's program. What's coming up in the second half? Well, first of all, I'm going to offer what I call a thought. I usually do this at the beginning of the show, but I moved it down the list. The thought I want to give you is, how do you handle your customer's right to privacy? Many of you probably never thought about that. I'll give you a couple ideas and a couple things you may want to think about. And then my one best consult tip of the week, problem solving and why it is the key to success in marketing your business. So I hope you'll stick around, but we'll be right back with you.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified health center. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Hey, tune in to the Bridge Podcast TX Tuesdays at 11 a.m., where we are connecting commerce with community, interviewing business owners and leaders in the community, allowing the audience to peek behind the curtain of what inspires, motivates, drives these individuals to have meaningful, positive impact in this community. For more information about the show, log into irlonestar.com/TBPTX.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour. I'm Rick Schissler. I'm your host. Hope you were able to catch the first half of the show. We had Whitney Christina, a master certified hypnotist. Kind of get those all switched up there, but she came in and talked to us about the use of hypnosis when you're stressed on your business. You've got a business objective, a goal you need to meet, whatever. They're able to help you. She's able to help you by using hypnosis. Really interesting. And I think a tool that should be in all of our toolboxes as we're out there in business, particularly if you have a very small business, solo or just 1 or 2 employees. There's a lot of load on you that can create stress and cause you not to be the very best that you can be. So I encourage you, if you didn't hear that segment or you did, you might want to listen to it again. And in particular, potentially share it with other folks in the business world that you're friends with. I appreciate that, and hopefully they'll become fans of the Weekly Business Hour. Well, as promised before the break, we're going to have a thought, how to handle your customer's right to privacy. It's an interesting issue because I think most businesses, unless you're selling online, don't give a lot of thought to the customer's privacy. And I submit to you that every business out there that's selling a product or service needs to have some idea about how they're protecting their customers' privacy. And potentially you need to post that. You need to make that available to the customer, either on the back of an invoice or on your website, even though it may not be an e-commerce site. And there's some things that you need to consider that I feel are really important, because if you take data from the customer, name, address for shipping purposes, or they come into your store and buy something, if they use a credit card, you're one step further into their privacy. And he goes on and on and on. If you're an online store, same thing, but even I think another step of getting data, information, personal information on a customer, company information, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to represent to the customer that you're doing with their information? Privacy really starts with the details. It is a really important issue, as I said earlier. The first thing you want to say, I would hope, if it's true, that you're not going to rent, sell, lease, or give away their information. In other words, that contact information, at the very least they've given you, is only for your purposes of processing their sale, of doing business with them, and you're not going to sell that list. That used to be a big thing in the business news 5, 10, 15 years ago, where businesses were collecting, especially online, information on customers, individuals who were customers, and they were selling that information. So I think the first thing you want to tell people in your privacy policy, and I do recommend you consider it, I do recommend very highly you talk to your business attorney about it. Again, in many businesses, it doesn't need to be a lengthy document, but it needs to convey this is what we do and how we will do it. I think it's very, very important. If you've got any kind of website and you have, say, email subscriptions or any types of collection of email addresses along with other personal information, this is the kind of thing that people don't want, the spam. We all have faced that problem. We give an email address and immediately we get spammed. Make sure that you make it clear to people that you're not going to spam them if, in fact, that's the truth. Nothing I hate worse on email than getting a bunch of unsolicited emails and having to go through an unsubscribe process, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And even though I believe there are federal laws in place to protect you in some regard to the issue of spam, there are even still today businesses that will send an email out and don't even give you an avenue or a way or a place to unsubscribe. And I just don't get that. They're not going to get any business from me simply because I don't think they're operating their business correctly. The distribution within your company of this information. If you simply are doing transactions across a counter, you're a Main Street business, then you take that information. What do you do? If you're taking credit cards, debit cards, what do you do? What are you and your credit card processor doing with that information? I always had a policy when I was in business, I don't want to keep any information for any period of time. Now, on the other side of that is the marketing, and people in marketing, or when I have my marketing hat on, well, I need that information. I want to send them information. I would use an opt-in process so that they said it's okay to send the information, but I have to collect that data. And what am I going to do with it? Credit card data used to scare me to death, because if you ever read the fine print on your credit card agreement with your processor, you're going to find out if somebody steals that card information and uses it, you're responsible. And that could absolutely sink a lot of businesses out there if, in fact, somebody stole credit card information and ran up bills into the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. So you got to be really careful, in my opinion. You want to tell people in your privacy policy how you secure their data. If, in fact, you do take credit cards, debit cards in particular. Just a simple statement. What is it that you do? Because you don't want somebody coming back on you and saying, hey, you were going to do this, this, and this, and you say, well, I don't have a policy. Nobody tells you what. Yeah, but you should have done this, and I wouldn't have been negatively impacted by the theft or misplacement or an ex-employee walking off with the information. It's all your fault, Mr. Business Owner, and there you are. Very interesting deal. So think about, how do you handle your customers' right to privacy internally, but also how you notice them, how you make them aware of what you're going to do. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can be simple. The simpler your business is, where you just do transactions face-to-face, then the easier it is to do this. But I do, again, recommend at the end of the day, you develop something, you write it up, but let your business attorney sign off on it to make sure that you are covered in case somebody suffers a loss and comes back knocking on your door looking for a refund, so to speak. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our final break of the day. It's going to be a short one, and when we come back, we're going to have the Best Consult Tip of the Week, problem solving, and why it is the key to success in marketing your business. Hope you'll stay with us, and I hope you will continue to send those emails to me, onebestconsult@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your business challenges as well as any comments you have about the show. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
Second Saturday Divorce Workshop provides unbiased information to help you understand your options and move forward with your life. This divorce workshop is for you if you are contemplating divorce, in the process of divorce, already filed for divorce, or post-divorce. You will explore the emotional, legal, and financial aspects of divorce from professionals who have guided others through divorce. For more information on this divorce workshop, contact secondsaturdaywoodlands.com or call 832-375-0900.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour. This is our final segment of today's program. I'm Rick Schissler. I'm your host. I want to thank you for joining us. And also to remind you that if you're located in the Montgomery County area, Montgomery County, Texas, or beyond if you'd like, but you obviously are nearby. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of this program, contributor to Lone Star Community Radio, it's a nonprofit. I'd appreciate talking to you about it. Just drop me an email at onebestconsult@gmail.com. That's the number one, bestconsult@gmail.com. I'll send you some information. I think we're a good connection for you to have here in the community. All we talk about is business on this program, and you'd be supporting one of the nonprofits that is in the business of communicating with the community. So please consider being a sponsor of the Weekly Business Hour. Well, problem solving, something we deal with in business every single day. There are problems to be solved. But why is it the key to success in marketing? And I suggest that some of you have not really thought about that. I know it's not something that I originally used to think about in my business, but more and more I became aware as I plugged into marketing and did some education, read some books, took some classes. It's really, marketing is all about problem solving. You've got to identify the problems that your customers and potential customers have. You've got to identify their problem before you try to market and sell your product or service to them. And I will contend that many, many small business people don't ever successfully do that. They have a great product, they have a great service, their customer service is number one. They are absolutely, we've got the customer at heart. All those sound bites and phrases and things that are put in brochures and advertising, TV, radio, we got you covered. But those go for naught if you really step back for a moment and think about it. people don't want or care about what you sell. They really don't. And to have a flashy ad or a representation is not what they're really looking for. Because when they come to you, and regardless of the business that you're in, they want you to help solve a problem. My mother's birthday's coming up shortly. Well, my problem is I need a birthday cake. Well, I want a baker that'll bake the birthday cake that my mom wants. She has a particular cake she likes. She's been getting that cake for 60 plus years, just in that same form or fashion. Where do you think I'm going to go to buy her birthday cake? To the bakery that is baking that cake for her for over 60 years, same bakery. They are solving my problem of needing a very special birthday cake for a very special lady, my mom. So this is the same thing that plays out a million times every day. Your product, your services, regardless of how great they are really, really just a means to an end if you look at it straight on from the customer's point of view. So how do you discover what the problems are that people have? Well, there's a number of questions that I believe you need to answer, okay? Like, what is the biggest pain point your customer is experiencing, okay? Look at it, try to figure it out, and I'll give you some ways to do that. What does success look like to them? In other words, they get your product, they engage your service. What will a successful outcome look like to them? What might hold them back from buying a product or service that you and others offer? Answer that question. And another one that comes to mind is, how do they come to a purchasing decision? That's kind of a one-on-one. Everybody approaches purchasing different. But if you can learn, a lot of times salespeople will ask straight up, what does it take? What do you need to know? Nothing wrong with that. And there are other questions. But most importantly, what you do to find the answer to this and the other questions that you need to answer is that you need to just ask your existing customers. I was talking to someone the other day in business, and they identified that they had a particular group of customers that they literally gave a monthly discount to. In exchange, they were able to contact them and ask questions on a regular basis about the quality of the work. They were in the service business. They were able to ask them questions like these. Why do you buy this product? Why do you use my service? And so they had their own little marketing research group within, and they're a small business, but they have this 5-6 customers that they can reach out to, and they compensate them as such, so they build rapport, and they say they get fantastic feedback about what's working and not working in the services they deliver. And they can ask any of the questions I've already mentioned and others that are on the list. So simply talking to your customers, also your employees, getting feedback from them as well, another easy source to tap into. You'll be amazed at the end of the day how your picture of problem solving with your customer will begin to fill in, and you will have a lot more success in selling your product and your service. So be sure you do that. Problem solving. You've got to solve that individual's problems before they're going to buy from you. It's not a sexy topic. A lot of people shy away from it because of the need to do a little bit of work, a little bit of the hard work and the research, talking to customers and potential customers and developing that picture, that profile of the ideal buyer and how you can get them to consider buying from you. Very important subject. Well, I want to thank again Whitney Christina, a certified master hypnotist, for joining us and sharing her business story, as well as the inside scoop on hypnosis as an effective tool in creating a better you. Put a note on your calendar. We'll be back next week, 11 a.m. I have another great show already lined up in the pipeline. And until next week, I encourage you, stay engaged in your business each and every day, and always keep your focus on what counts in your business. Thanks.